Hi friends, welcome to IT Articles. So today we'll see the local storage and the session storage in JavaScript. So let's get started. Here we can see I have some basic HTML page where we have some head, some basic sort of CSS, and a line which says how many times I have clicked a button, one button that has one on-click events, and in on-click events I'm incrementing the variable I, which I have initialized as 0, and I'm rendering this I variable in this ID. I mean this is pane, and when the page will load initially, I'm rendering the default value, that is 0, or whatever the default value of this I to this pane. So if I come here, refresh our page, it's 0. If I'm clicking the button, it's incrementing the value. If I refresh, it goes off. So in JavaScript we have two sort of storage to tackle these problems. Let's say in case if you want to keep this value as it is, in case if you refresh this page. So if I click the 2 time, it's a 2, and if I'm refreshing the page, it should be 2. It should not get reinitialized to the 0. So for that we need some sort of a storage. In JavaScript we have a two storage, session storage and local storage and the session storage. The difference between these two storage is session storage is applicable or is as per your tab. So if you have if you open the same URL in two tabs, so both tab will have their own storage. So this tab will have its own storage, this tab will have its storage, while local storage is something which is globally to your browser. So if you are making some changes on this tab and if you refresh this tab, you will get the same value which you have modified in this tab. And another difference is session storage, as I say, is individual for each tab. That's mean whenever you close the tab, this storage will get erased. And as I said, this local storage for your browser. So if you close your tab, it will not be erased. So let's get started. What I want is I want this value to be whatsoever I have clicked. So if it's 3 and if I'm refreshing, it should be 3. So as I said, let's use the session storage first. So yes, before that, these storage has three methods. One is set item. Of course, it's to set the item, and it has a key value pair. So we pass two things. One is key, another is value. Get item is to get the value. We just pass the key and it will return you the value, and remove item just to remove this value. These storages are read only, so either we can set the same variables or same key again and again, so it will write the previous value, but we can't modify the same value whatsoever we have and whatsoever we have set in previous, let's say, step. And remove item is just to remove. So let's use the session storage first. Let's say I want some value. Let's say my key name is counter. So initially, because we don't have this counter in our session storage, so just to default that I have passed 0. So initially it will be 0, and here whenever I'm changing this value, I want this to be preserved. So I'm saying session storage dot set item. I'm passing the key, that is counter, and the updated value, that is I. So if I come here, if I refresh my page, you guys can see this. If I'm refreshing, it's still 5, and if I come here, it's 0. That's mean the both tab has its own storage. So if I click here, it's a 1, and if I'm refreshing this, it's still 1, and this tab still has a 5. That's mean both tab has its own storage. And as I said, that these session storage will be erased as soon as I close my browser or close the tab. So let's say if I open my browser again, so and I start that as 127.80.80. see, we can see it's 00 again. That's mean this session storage will be available until we close the tab. While local storage is just opposite to it, it will be available even if we close the browser. So let's see, it's 0 if I'm incrementing, and I said it will be available at the browser label. So if I open the same URL here, I'm expecting that it's should give me the button that you have clicked the button 4 times. Yes, it's a 4 time. And so if I'm incrementing here and if I refresh the second tab, I'll get updated value. If update from the second tab, jump back to the first tab and refresh, you will get the updated value. And this should be preserved even if we close the browser. So let's try that again. If I close the browser, open the Chrome again, open our URL, you can see the 8 times. So majorly that's the difference between these two storage. Of course you can use remove method also to delete your keys. So you can call whatsoever your storage, local storage or the session storage dot remove item, then you can pass your key. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much. And in case if you're liking my channel, please make sure that you have subscribed. Don't forget to press this bell icon to get my new videos notification as soon as I post them. Thank you so much.